Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your betting game by hitting that subscribe button and ensure you never miss out on our daily content. Want exclusive access to premium betting picks? Join our Patreon. Links are waiting for you in the comment section below. Stay ahead of the game with High Stakes. Oakland University versus Boise State. I anticipate some challenges for Oakland in this matchup. While they handled Defiance Yellow Jackets well, Boise State presents a much tougher challenge. Boise State was strong at home last season with a 13-3 record, while Oakland went 9-7 on the road. The Broncos have greater stability in their scoring lineup, returning 2 of their top 3 players, whereas Oakland is still adjusting after losing 4 of their top scorers. Boise State has also dominated this matchup historically, winning their 3 prior games against Oakland by an average margin of 16 points. I expect a similar outcome here. Prediction: Boise State Broncos minus 15.5 points. This game may stay competitive for a while, but Oakland's ability to pressure Boise State will likely determine whether it turns into a blowout. If Boise State pulls ahead early, we may see the game slow down in pace. However, last season both teams combined for an average of 151.5 points per game. Boise State has also hit the over in 3 of their last 5 games, while Oakland has done so in 3 of their last 4. With a trend toward hitting overs early in the season, I'm leaning towards the over for this game as well. Prediction: over 146 points. UC San Diego versus San Diego State. The UC San Diego Tritons are coming off a strong 2023 season, finishing with a 21-12 record and placing second in the Big West at 15-5. This year marks a milestone for the Tritons, as they are finally NCAA tournament eligible in their 5th year of Division I play. They showed remarkable progress last season, starting at 233rd on KenPom, but climbing to 130th by the end. Head coach Eric Olin, now in his 5th year, has built a disciplined and competitive team, bringing back 3 double-digit scorers from last season, including sharpshooter Tyler McGee, who shot 41.4% from beyond the arc on 169 attempts. On the other side, the San Diego State Aztecs enter this season with a restructured roster. Coach Brian Dutcher, who boasts a 177-58 record over 7 years, is rebuilding with mostly new players after last season's 26-11 finish. The Aztecs are ranked 48th on KenPom, significantly lower than their end-of-season 22nd spot last year. Despite the talent, SDSU is adjusting to fresh faces on the floor and could face some early season chemistry issues. With an 11.5-point spread, this matchup seems closer than the odds suggest. SDSU's size gives them a paint advantage, but UCSD's seasoned guards and efficient ball handling, 13 assists to 9.7 turnovers last season, could counter this. SDSU is known for a slow-paced, defense-focused style, a tradition under both Dutcher and his predecessor, Steve Fisher. Last season, they ranked 267th in tempo with 66.2 possessions per game. This strategy favors low-scoring games and adds difficulty to covering a double-digit spread. UCSD, also a slower-paced team, 298th with 65.6 possessions per game, is well-suited to handle a deliberate game. Considering their competitive nature and experience, UCSD looks well-positioned to cover plus 11.5. Prediction: UCSD plus 11.5 points. In terms of the total, last season's matchup ended 63-62, well under the posted total of 139.5 points. Despite SDSU's new lineup and slower pace, the books have set a higher line of 142.5 for this game. SDSU's emphasis on a defensive full-court press and UCSD's reliance on long-range shooting could make for a low-scoring contest, especially early in the season when teams are still finding their rhythm. Given both teams' tendencies to control tempo, the under seems a smart play. Prediction: under 142.5 points. Rider versus San Diego. Rider head coach Kevin Baggett is facing a season of adjustment in his 13th year at the helm. The Rider Broncs have lost key contributors, including forward Mervyn James, who is their top scorer and rebounder with averages of 18.9 points and 6.1 rebounds per game, and guard Alan Powell, who added 10.1 points and 3.1 rebounds per game. These departures leave Ryder in need of new leadership on the floor, with guard T.J. Weeks expected to take on a primary role. This shift will test the Bronx depth and ability to compete, particularly against teams with solid home court advantages like San Diego. The San Diego Toreros, now entering their third season under the direction of head coach Steve Lavin, are also adapting to significant roster changes. The team's top 4 scorers from last season, including guard Deuce Turner, 15.5 ppg, and guard Wayne McKinney, 13.5 ppg, are no longer with the program. This season, the Toreros will be integrating fresh talent, reshuffling their lineup, and seeing who steps up in new offensive roles. Lavin's record of developing players should benefit San Diego in the long run, but the early season may expose some growing pains as the team works to establish cohesion on both ends of the floor. In terms of offensive production, San Diego had a middling season last year, finishing 209th in the country with an average of 72.5 points per game. Their defense, however, was even more concerning, as they allowed 77.3 points per game, a statistic that highlights their challenges in controlling the pace and defending efficiently. Despite these weaknesses, the Toreros have a strong foundation with Coach Lavin, whose experience could give them an advantage, especially at home. For Ryder, their offensive output in their season opener was lackluster. They managed just 50 points, and their issues extended to the boards, where they allowed 15 offensive rebounds. Such struggles with rebounding and scoring efficiency could be red flags against a team that will look to control the tempo and capitalize on home court energy. Prediction: San Diego Toreros to win. Despite both teams dealing with roster shifts and the unknowns that come with new lineups, San Diego appears better positioned to control the game, particularly given Ryder's struggles in their opener. San Diego's experience under Lavin's system and the home court advantage should enable them to set the pace and exploit Ryder's inefficiencies on both ends of the floor. When it comes to the scoring outlook, neither team has shown the ability to put up high offensive numbers consistently. Ryder's opening performance highlights some issues that could impact the total score, especially their shooting inefficiencies with splits of 31.7% from the field, 25% from three-point range, and just 38.5% from the free throw line. Such stats indicate a team that may struggle to find points, which could keep the game's overall score low. On San Diego's end, losing their 4 primary scorers from last season raises questions about where points will come from and how quickly their new lineup can gel into a productive unit. Given these factors, a high-scoring game seems unlikely. Prediction: under 147.5 points. With both teams needing time to solidify their offensive rotations and address scoring weaknesses, it's reasonable to expect a slower-paced game with fewer points. Ryder's offensive inconsistencies and San Diego's untested scoring options could result in both teams failing to hit the combined total, making the under a favorable play in this matchup.